Across many faiths, angels are recognized as divine beings, created by God to serve Him in various ways. Many people today view these angels as spiritual entities, often seen as messengers of God or serving specific causes. For instance, Archangel Michael is known as the warrior angel. The archangels, meaning chief angels in Greek, are believed to oversee other angels and form the top of the angelic hierarchy. While the function of each archangel is debated, it is generally agreed that they all serve the Lord and work to bring about His plan. Each archangel is thought to be particularly suited to certain tasks. For example, Archangel Michael, the warrior angel, is naturally inclined towards battle, as seen when he faces Lucifer in the Book of Revelations. Meanwhile, Archangel Gabriel, the messenger angel, is more suited to delivering prophecies, as he did when he announced the conception of God's child to the Virgin Mary. Archangels like Michael and Gabriel are well understood because the Bible provides information about them. However, the Bible does not give much information about other archangels, such as Archangel Metatron. Metatron does not appear in the Bible, and while there is speculation that he may represent some of the unnamed angelic figures in the Holy Book, such as the angel who wrestles with Jacob in Genesis and Hosea, this cannot be confirmed. Metatron's name is unique, being the only archangel name that does not end with the suffix El. The origins of the name Metatron are shrouded in mystery. Some scholars believe it originated from an ancient Jewish text, and that the name itself was a magical word resonating with the heavens or the people of the time. Others suggest the name comes from early Hebrew words matara, meaning keeper of the watch, or memator, meaning to guard and protect. Some scholars look to Greek origins, proposing that Metatron is derived from the words meta and thronos, meaning one who serves behind the throne, or one who occupies the space next to the throne. However, this theory is often dismissed since Metatron's name is never separated in the text in which it appears. Another theory suggests the Latin word meditor, meaning leader, as a possible origin, with some pointing to the similar-sounding Roman military term mitator, meaning leader. But who exactly is Metatron, I hear you ask? Well, Metatron appears in the Talmud as well as in the non-canonical biblical book known as Enoch. He's also a figure within apocryphal Christian mythology, and as a result, is either discounted by many believers as a fictional character or is outright unheard of by many of the faith. We also see mention of Metatron in the Kabbalah and a series of exegeses by various rabbis. We also see Metatron take form in some Islamic beliefs where he goes by the Arabic name Midatrush. We also understand from a folkloric sense in angelology that Metatron serves God as the celestial scribe, an angel who records the word of God and the events upon the earth, including the deeds of every man and woman. One of the main texts where we see Metatron mentioned comes from the third book of Enoch, usually entitled 3 Enoch. As you may know from my video of the Watchers tagged here, the first book of Enoch describes the fall of the angelic beings known as the Watchers and how God imprisons these treacherous angels. The rest of the book sees Enoch experience dreams and visions of heaven and the future itself. In the second book, we see him treated by the archangels to a tour of heaven, where he gets to experience each layer to its fullest before making a full account of what he has seen. Check out the 10 Heavens playlist here. He's also given instructions by God to write down what he tells him, and he should pass on this information to all who will listen when he's returned to earth. When Enoch is brought back to earth, he only remains for 30 days before God praises his hard work of spreading his word and brings him up to heaven full time. It is here in 30 Enoch that we see what happens to Enoch after he is ascended and how Metatron first comes about. While the book's authorship has been disputed, it has been credited to Rabbi Ishmael, who notes himself as becoming a high priest after having visions of heaven. While there was a Rabbi Ishmael in the 1st and 2nd centuries, it's understood he was never a high priest. Furthermore, 3 Enoch is written differently from the other Enochian books in that its layout is unique, and it proposes some fresh ideas. The Merkabah. the seraphim, are said to be high-ranking angels that sit beside God's throne. Angels who are often related to fire in that they were burning or had some divine ability to cast flame. In any case, these entities do not like the look of Ishmael, and they proceed to pounce on him before beating him up. But it is God himself who diffuses these angelic beings in their attack and commands them to stand down. After this, Ishmael appears to be welcomed in the presence of God and guided by the Archangel Metatron. The other angels begin to quiz Metatron, asking him what makes Ishmael worthy to stand here amongst them. But Metatron answers all of their questions with an easy calmness and seems to be able to pacify the other angels. Interestingly, Ishmael picks up on the fact that the other angels refer to him as youth. When he asks Metatron what his name is, Metatron explains that he goes by 70 names, but that indeed God and the others refer to him as youth. But Ishmael perceives Metatron to be the greatest of angels and he who is highest amongst all others, so he cannot fathom why he is called something as lowly as youth. But here Metatron drops the bombshell that the reason he is called youth is because he is the youngest angel, for he is in actuality the man formerly known as Enoch. Metatron reveals that when the flood occurred, he was brought up by God and saved from suffering the destruction of the earth so that none could say that God was not merciful. To show how much God appreciated Enoch, he blessed him and transformed him into a being that would govern the other angels, perhaps the first and only archangel who had been born a human. But as you might imagine, the transition from man to the ruler of angels did not come about without resistance. We are told that the angels Uzzah, Azza, and Azael rebelled against this decision, declaring to God that he was a fool for making a man into an angel and that they would not serve one who was not born of them. But God reprimands them immediately and stamps out their descent, saying that he valued Enoch more than he did all of the other angels, and that they will bow to him whether they like it or not. Evidently, the three angels do not have the same goal as Lucifer, for they submit to Enoch and do not plan a rebellion. We learn that Enoch was given God's blessing and his entire body was morphed, every part of him enlarged. He subsequently grew a set of 72 wings. God gave Enoch splendor and beauty, radiance, and even offered Enoch a throne of his own, whereby he would be known as God's representative. It is understood that every angel who wishes to speak to God must go through Metatron first, and every command uttered by Metatron must be fulfilled by all other angels. It just goes to show how much God in this story trusts Enoch, that he gives him this sort of power. Now, this is a level of power that not even Lucifer was granted when he was an angel. We also learn that Metatron, and Metatron alone, is privy to many of God's secrets, further showing us how much God trusts him and how valued he is as an angel. In fact, we also learn that God even nicknames him the Lesser Yahweh after himself, and goes as far as to put a crown on his head, almost like he is prepping him for a takeover or something. We also learn that the crown bestowed upon Metatron is so glorious that every angel he encounters, including the likes of Archangel Gabriel, prostrates before him without hesitation. The rest of 3 Enoch sees Metatron escorting Rabbi Ishmael on a journey through the heavens, where Ishmael experiences the wonders of both the spiritual world and the physical world. He learns about the other angels, the battles they have, and the world of the demons. He's taught the way in which the heavens operate, the nature of order, and he gains a wealth of knowledge about God and God's plan. In the Talmud, meanwhile, we see Metatron mentioned only a couple of times. Rabbi appeared to have been seated. It is understood that the reason why Metatron is allowed to sit is because, as mentioned earlier, Metatron is the heavenly scribe and therefore granted the privilege of a seat by God so that he might be comfortable with such a difficult task in recording everything that transpires. Interestingly, Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya also witnesses Metatron receiving 60 strokes with fiery rods, and it is believed that this was done to delineate the difference of power between himself and God. It coincides with the story of 3 Enoch in that while Metatron was considered to be the lesser Yahweh and was held in such high regard that all other angels bow to him, he was still utterly powerless against God. It shows that Metatron might have been a favorite of God, but he was not above being punished should he step out of line. It also gave way to the notion that angels were not exempt from God's wrath and served as a caution to anyone else. If God was willing to whip his favorite Metatron 60 times with a fiery rod, imagine what he might do to someone who had angered him. Another belief within the Talmud is that when God is busy with his routines or his attention is elsewhere, Metatron might be called upon to say in his stead and be given the command of God for a short time. Meanwhile, in Islam, Metatron or Mitatrush doesn't appear directly in the Quran, but is considered by some communities to be amongst the canonical archangels. Some scholars consider Metatrush to be the angel of the veil, and it is only he who knows what lies beyond. Metatron is also mentioned by the 13th century Sufi writer Ahmad al-Buni, who described Metatron in a similar way to how Rabbi Ishmael describes him in 3 Enoch, but also attributes him to wielding a lance. In other Sufi beliefs, Metatron is considered to be the angel who is invoked to fight the evil spirits, known as the jinn, as well as demons and other supernatural happenings. While Metatron is not at the forefront of people's minds when they think of archangels, there is a belief among some that the angel is very much real and that he serves humanity in a variety of different ways. Those who claim to have seen or experienced the power of Metatron state that they see bright flashes of lights when he is near, which could be the shine of his glorious crown. Others believe that he manifests in a crystallized form that is magenta in color, or that he may present a brilliantly lit cube of deep pinks, greens, and whites. The cube itself, in some beliefs, is known as Metatron's cube, and it is this cube that he uses to heal people. Another common sign of the archangel is the string of positive thoughts that one may suddenly receive during a state of depression. This is thought to be Metatron trying to promote wellness in the mind. The state of one's mind is thought to concern Metatron greatly, for he must record the deeds of men and would therefore like men to act from a place of happiness rather than a place of suffering. The frequent observation of geometric patterns is also thought to be a sign of Metatron's presence in one's life, and this likely links back to his cube. Others associate a heightened state of awareness with Metatron, in that one must be elevated above regular consciousness to truly behold him. One final idea is that Metatron is linked to numbers, and if one is prone to seeing numbers like 1111, perhaps on the clock, it is a sign that Metatron is present and condoning the choices one has made. But let me know what you think about the Archangel Metatron below, and whether you've had your own experiences with this elusive angel. Also, check out my Book of Enoch playlist on the end screen. And as always, if you've enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.